1 year. That's all it took. 1 year, and everything Dillon Gabriel thought he had in Cleveland just disappeared.
See, last year, a lot of people was hyping up Dillon Gabriel, talking about he's pretty much a coach's playbook-minded quarterback, and that is just not the case this year, bro. All of that Dillon Gabriel love is gone, and people starting to see through the, I would say, fabricated headlines that was made by the Cleveland media to try to go against Shedeur Sanders that was, to me, orchestrated by Kevin Stefanski. There's no secret that Dillon Gabriel was Kevin's guy. That was his man, and Andrew Berry wanted to give Shedeur Sanders a chance of a lifetime, and that was a chance to prove himself. And we all seen that he definitely proved himself on the biggest stage, and that is in the National Football League. Now, is it Shedeur's fault that he got a battle with Deshaun Watson? No, it's not Shedeur's fault. But do I believe he's going to prevail? He's going to prevail and win with flying colors. Now, with that being said, they drafted another quarterback in this draft, Taylor Green. Now, word on the street is that Taylor Green is currently cooking up there in Cleveland.
There's a moment in every quarterback's career where the spotlight either stays on you or moves on without you. For Shedeur Sanders, that spotlight has never left. For Dillon Gabriel, right now, it's pointing somewhere else entirely. And the question everybody in Cleveland is asking is real simple. Is Dillon Gabriel still part of this team's future, or is he already on his way out?
Mag Dog TV, Mel Kiper talks, Shedeur Sanders arriving before Dillon Gabriel. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel.
Shedeur Sanders has been present. He has been there. Dillon Gabriel has not. Deshaun Watson was there early, has not been the last few weeks. But Shedeur Sanders has made a decision to be in Cleveland, to be in Berea, to spend this offseason around the new coaching staff, learning the new offense. For everything he possibly could have done this offseason, Shedeur Sanders has done it to make a good impression.
I'm with Bader on Shedeur, we all know that, but I think the wide receivers catch the football. Shedeur threw a beautiful ball to Jerry Jeudy against the Bears. Dropped off his shoulder pads, intercepted. So instead of a touchdown pass, it's an interception. Had several of those this year. Harold Fannin Jr., young tight end, became the most dependable, reliable option for Shedeur throughout the season once he took over. You think about Jordan Tyson, what a great talent he is. He is a beast. I know that's durability concerns, but hey, what are you going to do? Hey, once you get in the NFL, you may never have another injury. Cornell Tate, what does he do? He catches everything thrown his way. You got Mekhi Lemon. You got three receivers. The one guy, left tackle, that's the other key need area. If you get the receiver, left tackle Monroe Freeland, best pure left tackle in this draft coming out of Georgia. How they finesse this left tackle wide receiver need with 6 and 24 is going to be, I think, one of the most fascinating aspects around.
Rewind to last year. People genuinely liked what they saw in Dillon Gabriel coming out of the draft. Smart kid, good football IQ, the kind of quarterback coaches love because he doesn't do too much, doesn't freelance, stays in the pocket. Cleveland media ran with that, built him up, articles, segments, the whole thing. But here's what nobody was saying out loud. A lot of that positive press, it felt constructed. It felt like a narrative being managed. Because behind the scenes, head coach Kevin Stefanski had his guy. Gabriel was Kevin's quarterback. That was clear. And when the front office had a different opinion, specifically when GM Andrew Berry saw something different in Shedeur Sanders, there was real friction in that building. That tension played out all year, and by the time the season ended with Gabriel benched, the whole experiment started to unravel. Now let's talk about the other side of this story, because Shedeur Sanders didn't ask for any of this drama. He just showed up, put the work in, and let his game do the talking. And it did. When Shedeur got his opportunity in the NFL, a real opportunity, not just a courtesy rep, people saw it. The velocity on his passes, the poise in the pocket, the way he commands a huddle. It wasn't just potential anymore. It was real. Now, is it all perfect? No. He's still got things to prove. Every young quarterback does. But the foundation Shedeur has shown, that's not something you fake. That's not something Cleveland media can manufacture for you. He earned every bit of where he stands right now in that QB room. And Browns fans, they feel it. You can see it. The excitement around Shedeur is real, not just because of who his father is, but because of who he is becoming.
Since Taylor Green has came into the picture, the Cleveland Browns have to go about this whole competition situation in a totally different light. Now, Andrew Berry has not went on record and stated that he will be getting rid of Dillon Gabriel, but it is looking very spooky in the city of Cleveland because we seen this last year. They went into training camp with 4 quarterbacks. By the end of training camp or before the end, one of those quarterbacks was gone. And we ultimately know that's how we got some draft picks for the 2026 draft was because they traded Kenny Pickett. Now, when Kenny Pickett did leave,
Here's where things get genuinely complicated. The Browns didn't just draft Shedeur Sanders and call it a day. They went out and grabbed rookie quarterback Taylor Green, a 6'6" dual threat with freakish athleticism. 6th-round pick. A lot of people overlooked it at first. They shouldn't have, because word coming out of Cleveland is that Taylor Green has been impressive in rookie minicamp. Not just for a rookie, just impressive, full stop. And now you've got 4 quarterbacks on one roster: Shedeur Sanders, Deshaun Watson, Taylor Green, and Dillon Gabriel. The math doesn't work for all 4 of them. It never does. One of these guys is going to be the odd man out before training camp ends. The Browns have been here before. Last year, they carried 4 QBs into camp and traded Kenny Pickett before it was over. That trade brought them draft capital heading into 2026. So don't act like this front office won't do it again. Right now, based on everything being reported, that odd man out is pointing directly at Dillon Gabriel. To his credit, Gabriel has been composed about all of it. When reporters asked him about his future, he didn't deflect or get emotional. He said he's focused on what he can control, trusting the process, trusting God's plan. And honestly, that's a mature answer. That's the right answer. But here's the reality nobody wants to say. Staying calm doesn't change the depth chart. Staying positive doesn't change the fact that Taylor Green is stealing attention in minicamp. And being Kevin Stefanski's favorite quarterback doesn't mean much when Stefanski's own job security has had question marks around it. Gabriel's path to the 53-man roster is narrow right now. The front office could try to sneak him onto the practice squad, but that's a gamble too, because another team could claim him off waivers. Though honestly, there isn't a ton of market demand for him right now. None of that is a personal knock on Gabriel. He seems like a good dude, a hard worker, but the situation is what it is.
several crowded quarterback rooms. We got quarterback rooms in Atlanta, Baltimore, and Cleveland. And what's crazy is that all these teams got to play each other, and they all have crowded quarterbacks rooms. Now, I went on to say, and Shedeur Sanders and Deshaun Watson are currently battling for the starter spot, with a eventually loser likely setting in to be the backup. The Browns have yet to establish a clear pecking order, but Dillon Gabriel's path to the 53-man roster is increasingly narrow.
The real headline battle in Cleveland is Shedeur Sanders and Deshaun Watson for that starting job. And look, Watson's contract situation is well documented. Everybody knows that story. But right now, both of them are competing, and that competition is healthy for this team. Here's what I'll say about Shedeur. He was not given this opportunity. He was not handed a starting role because of his last name. If anything, he's had to fight through more noise and more doubt than almost any QB prospect in recent memory, and he's still standing, still competing, still locked in. If Shedeur wins this starting job in Cleveland, and a lot of people believe he will, it won't just be a great moment for him personally, it'll be proof that when you bet on yourself and keep your head down, eventually the results speak louder than any critic ever could. Look, if you've been riding with this channel and you're watching this without being subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button right now. For real, we break down these QB situations before they become headlines. Don't miss what's coming next out of Cleveland, because trust me, this story is far from over. Here's what to watch for between now and the end of July. Reports are already suggesting that Cleveland is going to make some decisions soon. The front office needs to get clear on what their quarterback room looks like heading into the preseason, and the way things are trending right now, Gabriel's role is getting smaller every week. Taylor Green's value as a trade piece is also something the Browns will consider. They love stockpiling draft capital. Don't rule out a scenario where Green gets moved and Gabriel actually survives the cut. It's possible. The NFL is unpredictable like that.
But right now, right this second, Shedeur Sanders is the centerpiece of this story. He's the reason people are paying attention. He's the reason Cleveland's QB room matters to the rest of the league. Dillon Gabriel said he's running his own race. That's fair, that's respectable. But sometimes in the NFL, the track changes underneath your feet, and nobody warns you before it happens. The Browns' QB room is different now. Shedeur Sanders made sure of that. And whatever comes next, Cleveland is watching. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Do you think Dillon Gabriel survives the final roster cut, or is Shedeur's rise officially closing that door? Keep those notifications on. We'll be back when the next move drops.